You ever meet those people that are just so stuck in their ways? They won't listen to anybody about trying to change their life. Okay, they sit there and they're complaining, they're miserable, they say they're miserable, they say they can't lose weight, and you try to convince them to try something and it just doesn't do anything. They don't budge. They just go about living their unhealthy lifestyle. You know, quite frankly, that's the position that I was in before. Okay, I wasn't really receptive because I wasn't understanding that I was in such a bad spot. It took particular doctors to explain to me how the ketogenic diet and how low carb protocols could work. But what I want to do is arm you with 8 ways that you could hopefully convince people that you love and people that you care about to give a low carb protocol or the ketogenic diet a shot. Okay, people that might be extremely stubborn. So we're going to break it down. We're going to make it simple, going to make it fun. So sit back, relax, and let's have a blast with this. And please do make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure that you're constantly checking back on this channel like every day, because we have new videos coming out literally every day. So if you're not seeing them every day, it's because you're not going to the homepage and checking it out, all right? Okay, number 1, and this is the one that's going to push a lot of people over, but some need more convincing than just this. Massive weight loss compared to any other protocol backed by scientific literature. Okay, the Journal Endocrine published a study, took a look at 45 patients, okay, and they put them into 2 groups, a ketogenic diet group that was moderately low calorie and a standard diet group that was moderately low calorie. They did this for 24 months, so it was a 2-year study, which actually shows the ketogenic diet's pretty safe too. Okay, now what they found was pretty interesting. Okay, at the end of 2 years, there was an 8.8 kilogram body fat reduction in the ketogenic diet group versus a 4.4 kilogram body fat reduction in the standard diet group. Now, that's kilograms, okay? You think pounds, that's upwards of 20 pounds in the keto group. So we're looking at double the weight loss, the exact same amount of calories, just changing ketogenic foods versus non-ketogenic foods. Okay, but then you might be wondering, well, how long can that last? Well, then you can tell people that are stubborn, guess what? You're gonna keep that weight off. Not only are there studies that show that it's probably the most sustainable protocol and keeps weight off, but there's also studies that show that the metabolism stays elevated. For example, one study that was published in the Journal Nutrition and Metabolism found that subjects that lost weight with the ketogenic diet maintained their metabolism. 20 patients lost 45 pounds in 4 months, okay? And they found that their resting metabolic rate stayed the same even after they lost the weight. That is powerful. Now, this is as a result of maintaining your muscle. Normally, when people lose weight, they lose muscle, and that precious muscle is what keeps them from having their metabolism back. This keeps the muscle, therefore keeps the metabolism. So you tell those couch potato friends of yours that don't want to make a change, hey, if you do this, not only will you lose weight, your metabolism will stay elevated, and you'll actually be able to continue to eat a decent amount of calories as long as you stay within the ketogenic spectrum. Okay, which brings me to number 2. You tell me what other diet out there, what other lifestyle allows you to eat fast food? Okay, I'm not saying that you need to go out and eat fast food. I'm not saying that you should. Okay, but a lot of the people that you might be trying to convince to try a low carb diet are people that like fast food and they don't want to give it up. They're addicted to it. And I'm not saying that they should continue to eat it, but you tell me another kind of lifestyle that allows you to still have your fast food. If you want to go on a low fat diet, good luck. What are you going to find at any fast food place that's low fat? You're like, oh, I'm going to make the healthy choice and get a salad. Then you're going to get a salad that has 600 calories in ranch dressing just to make the halfway decent salad taste palatable. At least with keto, you can go to In-N-Out and you can get a double-double. And you can get it animal style as a lettuce wrap or protein style where there's just no bun. You can go to Taco Bell, you can get a skillet bowl. You can go to Five Guys, they'll make a burger and put it in a bowl for you. You can go to Carl's Jr. and get a grass-fed lettuce wrap. You can go to the Habit Burger. You can go so many places. And I'd be lying if I said that I don't do that from time to time. Because I do, guess what? Because I'm human. Okay, which brings me into point number 3. You can have treats that legitimately taste good. Let me give you an example, and some of you have probably experienced this. I can speak from my own experience, I'm not gonna name names, but when we make up really good sweet treats, we make up good keto fat bombs, and we give them to someone that's never done keto before and doesn't know that it's a keto fat bomb. Okay, they eat it and they're just like, oh my gosh, this is so good. What the heck is in this? Like, I could eat a bunch of these. And then we say, oh, coconut oil, cacao, some stevia, a little protein powder. It's actually really healthy for you. And then they go, I don't want to eat that. It's because psychosomatically, they don't even want to have it because it's healthy. But before you told them it was healthy, they enjoyed it. You experienced that before, right? Okay, I certainly have. The nice thing with keto is you can make these fat bombs and you never realize that you're still within the confines of your healthy keto lifestyle. Okay, perfect example, like you never used to be able to have cookie dough, right? Okay, now you can have cookie dough and it's considered keto friendly. So I wanted to give a big shout out to some people over at what's called Boo Foods. Okay, epic stuff. And this just came into my keto lifestyle recently. I didn't ever have an opportunity to have this stuff 10 years ago when I was doing keto, right? When I first started keto. So Boo Foods has made a cookie dough that is made with pea protein and it's made with all good ingredients with no sugar alcohol, so no bloating. So, and this is a perfect example. So I highly encourage you guys to check them out because, I mean, they're at Whole Foods. They have all kinds of amazing things, but you can check out the actual cookie dough jars in the link down below. I wanted to give them a shout out. They're just awesome people. I met them in Austin when I was speaking at KetoCon. The point is, you can tell people that don't want to do keto that they're going to lose weight, all while you're sitting there eating a jar of cookie dough that tastes amazing. I don't know. I just think it's crazy that people can't accept that. So anyhow, do check them out down in the link below and use that to convince your stubborn family or your stubborn friends. All right, the next one that I want to talk about is going to be the fact that you can build more muscle with keto than you can with a traditional diet. Okay, all depending on different circumstances, but there's some studies that I want to reference, some really interesting data. There was a study that was done out of the University of South Florida with Volek and Dom D'Agostino and Lowry. These are all people that I love. They've done great work in the ketogenic space. Anyhow, they took a look at 25 resistance-trained college men. And they wanted to see, hey, could these guys build muscle on a keto diet more than people that are on a standard diet? So they had one group go ahead and for 10 weeks eat a ketogenic diet. They had another group for 10 weeks eat a standard diet with carbohydrates. And they measured how much muscle mass they put on. Okay, well, there was a 2.4% increase in muscle mass for the keto diet group and a 4.4% increase in the standard diet group. So right now, you're saying, Thomas, why are you telling us this? This doesn't make sense. The keto diet group didn't gain as much muscle. They didn't in the first 10 weeks. But what they did at the end of those 10 weeks is with the keto group, they reintroduced a modest amount of carbohydrates. At that point, it catapulted the keto group into massive muscle growth. They had another 4.8% increase in muscle mass just after introducing some carbohydrates after being keto for 10 weeks, whereas the other group had no change whatsoever. What it was a process of insulin sensitivity and some pretty complex things in terms of glycogen, but long story short is it gave the people that did the ketogenic diet more of a potential to build muscle once carbs were reintroduced, which tells us that from a baseline density standpoint, the ketogenic diet group built more potential muscle and built more dense muscle that was able to inflate when carbohydrates were added. Long story short, the keto group did build more official muscle than the standard diet group. So if those people that are stubborn tell you that they don't want to do keto because I don't want to waste away, I like being big and muscular and husky, tell them they can be big, muscular, and ripped. Okay, number 5, it's going to boost their libido. Okay, people don't always want to talk about this, and it might be sensitive, so it all depends on who you're talking to, right? But if you're talking to a guy that's over 40 and you tell him that it's going to boost his libido, he's probably going to give it a try, okay? Here's the thing. So there was a study that was published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research. Okay, it took a look at men on a keto diet or a standard diet for 11 weeks and wanted to measure testosterone levels. Okay, ketogenic diet group had an increase in 118 nanograms per deciliter testosterone. Standard diet lost 36 nanograms per deciliter. Okay, do the math. Keto diet is going to jack up your testosterone. The other diets are going to lower it, okay? Plain and simple, libido. Now for women, what women don't always know is that PCOS is just the strongest link with not being able to get pregnant. But that's because it actually manifests with symptoms. Women might have a small degree of PCOS or similar symptoms going on in their body. Long story short is it has to do with hyperinsulinemia. When women have a lot of insulin, it ends up affecting their follicle stimulating hormone, their luteinizing hormone, and their ability to get pregnant. So a lot of these PCOS studies that are been done show that when women go on a ketogenic diet, they do become pregnant, simply because the insulin levels are lower and it allows the hormones to come back into balance. Okay, number 6, and this is a big one for the people that are coffee lovers out there. You can tell them that their coffee, first of all, doesn't have to go away. But second of all, you can tell them that it's going to help them burn more fat and get more out of their ketogenic lifestyle. You see, the Canadian Journal of Physiology published a study, found, pretty interestingly enough, that when people consume caffeine, it doubles the amount of ketones that are produced in their blood. Why? Because it mobilizes fat. Okay, so in the morning, people that had coffee versus didn't have coffee ended up having higher levels of ketones, which means they were ultimately burning more fat at rest than people that didn't have coffee. It's pretty wild stuff, and it's because coffee is a phosphodiesterase inhibitor. It essentially blocks or unblocks the body's ability to utilize its own stored energy for fuel. So it's unleashing the potential of the ketogenic diet. Okay, number 7, and this is a fun one, bacon suddenly becomes good for you. And this isn't because like it just tastes good and we're trying to just tout the ketogenic diet and say bacon's good, yay. No, on a ketogenic diet, saturated fats start becoming something that you really want. The good, healthy saturated fats that are from a controlled source like bacon, if you can get it in a clean fashion, are actually going to help you out from the central nervous system standpoint. They're going to help you out with the myelination, so they're going to help rebuild nerve endings. They're going to help neurons communicate. They're going to help nerve growth factor. It's going to help you significantly, and there's a lot of evidence that shows that saturated fat is not the issue with clogging your arteries at all. It has more to do with sugar. In fact, the saturated fat could actually help, which leads me to number 8, the last one. Your slip-ups and your accidents, more often than not, help you rather than hurt you. I fully agree that when you do a ketogenic diet, you should try to be as strict as possible. But let's say you slip up and you don't realize it. Maybe you go and you go to a dinner and you have something that suddenly you find out had 30, 40, 50 grams of carbs and you're like, oh no, I just ruined it. Guess what? It just so happens that people that are on a ketogenic diet, when they have a big surge of carbohydrates come in every now and then, it triggers a spike of what's called leptin. Okay, now temporarily, you might not feel real good, but what's going to happen is it's going to spike your leptin levels, which is going to tell the cells in your fat to start communicating with your brain to rev up the metabolism. So those slip-ups, I've seen this with clients of all walks of life, oh, I slipped up, I messed up, and all of a sudden they break through their plateau. So you can tell people that, hey, the ketogenic diet is strict, but if you do goof up, it might actually help you, okay? These are 8 reasons I honestly feel like you can use to convince anybody. Like, I think it's going to work, I really do. There's always going to be those people out there that you just can't budge. Stubborn, don't waste your time, okay? But people that are close to the edge, use this video. Use this video to teach them what can happen, okay? It's powerful. It really does work. And please, also, as a courtesy to this channel, as a courtesy to those that support this channel, do check out Boo Foods and check out and grab a jar of that cookie dough down below in the description, all right? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.